plant community. My name is Pam and thanks for tuning into this channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today's topic, you guys, is actually providing you with an update on my plant haul number 5. So this will more or less let you know how my plants have been doing. If you haven't seen plant haul number 5, I want to say that's actually my plant haul for the month of April. I encourage you to actually check it out because I love unwrapping and unveiling my plants with you. But it's been about 2 months, a little bit over 2 months now, and I just want to get right into it and share with you guys how my plants are doing. So let's just get right to it. I'm going to start in no particular order. Let's see, my Hoya Australis Lisa. Now since I've had this plant, one cool thing, you guys, as far as all the plants that I had for that plant haul, good news, none of them died. So I say that because I don't know about you, but I have had situations where I've actually brought a plant and 2 or 3 months later they are RIP. So yeah, I'm just happy that they are alive. But let's get back to this Australis Lisa. This one is slow growing, but what I have noticed is that the plant is more or less lifting up. It was a little bit closer to the pot when I first brought it, and it seems to just has risen up. I can't really recall if there was any leaves that's grown on this plant. I do know that when I unboxed it or unveiled it for you guys, it was like 2 leaves in the center that was reddish pink, and I think since then they actually fell off. Not sure why, but yeah, but this plant is still beautiful. Really haven't had any issues with this plant, so that's the update with that. My next one is gonna be, let's see, let me start off with this baby. This is my Irzine herbistii. If you guys have had a chance to watch also my Danger Zone plant, you'll see a sister in that plant, in that video, that the care is pretty much almost the same, you guys. This plant right here is doing well for now. I don't know, I may change how it's being, I may take it out of soil completely, I don't know, just so that I won't have to worry about staying up on top of this watering. But this plant is not forgiving, you guys, if it does not. If you skip up on water, the leaves will crisp off and it will fall off. But so far so good, you guys. I've managed to keep the color on here. I mean, it's a beautiful plant. It's a shame that it's just so finicky when it comes to water. And I have it sitting on my my windowsill in my kitchen, so it's getting adequate lighting. Don't really have any problems with it. It's just that you gotta stay up on the water. It's a beautiful plant, but I would not recommend this for a beginner plant parent. But I am happy to have it in my collection. Now my next one, we're gonna go to a less easier care plant, and this is my Hoya Crinkle 8. I just love the dimples in the leaves. Now, oh, what is this? Oh, just something dead. But it's been growing. I'm just glad that it was already trailing when I got it, but I have noticed that a couple of leaves have grown. I wouldn't call it a vigorous grower. It is growing in my sunroom here, so it really doesn't have, and it hasn't been giving me any problems. I haven't had any issues with the plant. I pretty much just allow it to completely dry out, and I give the leaves a feel to indicate to myself whether or not if I should give it a drink. But I still love the way it looks in this pot. I haven't potted it actually in the pot yet. It's kind of stuck. I may actually do that. I'm not 100% sure because the inside is not glazed. So I don't know, I'm just thinking about it. Let me know what you guys think, if I should actually put it in this pot or not. But very easy care. My next one is going to be my Pepperomia capparada, Rosi. Now these are flowers, you guys. They're not very spectacular, but this plant has been producing a whole bunch of flowers, of these flowers for me throughout the growing season, and I've just been cutting them off so that the plant can focus a little bit more energy in the actual growth. But look at the back, you guys. Beautiful, isn't it? I'm really just trying to be particular or try to keep up with the watering. It looks like it has grown a little bit in the clusters, but it's a very beautiful, stunning plant. I'm glad I have it in my collection. I keep it in here in my sunroom where it's getting, I say on average, between 45 to 55% humidity in here, and it tends to love it. I don't think I would actually bring this particular plant inside my house. I have a feeling that it would decline, but I'm glad I have it in my collection and no issues. Let's see. My next plant is actually going to be my Hoya. Oh, this thing is heavy. My Hoya Trubiana. Now this plant, you guys, it has been growing for me. I just really love thick leaves and thick stalks. And if you've seen my plant haul for that month, I had it on a different trellis. I kind of did this makeshift trellis a little bit because I wanted to do the oval shaped loop, and I think it looks better, especially with these elongated leaves. I mean, just look at that. So for the most part, these three leaves, I want to say, been probably the new growth. I don't see any indication of blooms, which is okay. I don't really expect this plant to possibly show any signs of a bloom until maybe next growing season. Usually I have to allow the plant to kind of like get used to my environment before I even be privy to a bloom. But I love this plant. It's very beautiful, you guys. No issues there. Another Hoya I'm going to give you the update for. Let's see if I can. And this would be, let's see, kind of hard getting it out of owner. This is my Hoya Australis, the fuzzy back. And I have it on this, you see the trellis that I kind of made. And I just really love it. I mean, forget about the shape of the leaves, but that actual back, it is so fuzzy. It feels really, really good. This plant, it has been growing. I've also switched out this trellis as well because it was just growing really long tendrils and it hasn't really developed any leaves with the exception of this whole piece right here. This whole section is just actually provided this right here. And if you guys remember, for those of you who watched my video, I had pointed out that this plant had a peduncle, but nothing has come about it. And sometimes I do know that you can get the peduncles, but they won't open up or flower for you. I don't know why. But I'm not worried too much about it. I just love it. What y'all think? I just love the shape of the trellis, and I wrapped it around to make it a little bit more conformed. I don't know. I got it in this little planter, but just to weigh it down because it's very top heavy. I don't know. I might put a little stake to kind of give it a stronger foundation. I'm not sure. Now my next plant will be a Calathea. My Calathea Orbifolia. Now this plant, although it has not been giving me any real problems with the exception of the crispiness of some of the leaves, as you can see, that could be just due to maybe not enough humidity inside my home. I have this actually sitting on a coffee table of mine where it's getting that dampened light, kind of somewhat subtle, bright, indirect light. You do have to make sure that this plant does not dry out. One thing that I did notice, I don't even know if I'll be able to come pull it out or if I will be able to even share with you guys. You probably won't be able to see it. But if you look right here, That's some new growth coming out. And so far since I've had it, this leaf is the leaf that's opened up, and it's still kind of soft. This leaf, and I want to say this leaf actually opened up, but I cut off some of the crispiness. But you know, it's going to probably more or less just keep crisping up. I can't really do much about that unless I change the humidity in my home. But I'm satisfied that it's still growing. It looks cute in this face planter, so I'm satisfied with it. Glad it's still surviving. Now my next plant will be another Hoya, my Hoya Fungi Eye. And this is like one of my absolute favorite Hoyas, you guys. And look at this cute little pot I put it in. But the veining on this plant is beautiful, you guys. That X-ray veining, lightning bolt veining, so to speak. Not quite sure, but the tendrils is extremely long. I done wrapped it around this makeshift trellis a couple of times, and it's grown maybe slightly. I say these leaves here, as well as this. Let me turn it around. This little baby one here. Isn't that pretty? But I love it. It's just so full. Very easy care. If you're not a Hoya lover, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you really need to get on the Hoya bus. This is very beautiful. So many different structures and varieties of Hoyas, and they're so laid back. They don't really want a lot from you. So, you know, I would absolutely recommend this plant to a new plant parent, but I love it. And I hope I'll be able to get it to bloom. I know I probably won't this growing season. Haven't seen any sign of peduncles. But I can wait. I'm patient. So let's get to my Calathea Orbifolia, I believe I'm saying. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know, you guys. But this plant has not, if you can look at it, I mean, really, it has not really given me too many crispiness of the leaves whatsoever. The leaves will curl up and dry out if you skip a watering. I try to water this at least when the top inch of the soil is dry. I give it a nice little drink. It tends to love it. It's sitting right in front of my, believe it or not, my Sansi light, and it hasn't given me any problems. It's actually still constantly giving me new growth. Like this leaf right here is about to actually open up. I have a new leaf trying to unfurl right here, as well as this one right here. I have one here. It's just multiple growth points now where this plant is just growing for me, and I haven't had any problems out of the plant. And I only just have I don't know if you can see, this leaf is the only one that's been like crispy, but no crispy points, which is impressive, I think. I don't know, I might have to look a little bit more into Calatheas. Maybe they are a little bit more easier going, but it looks almost as if I just brought the plant like today. So I'm very impressed with that. I love it. Those backs, you guys. Oh my gosh. Stunning. Now, next to my last plant, this is also a Hoya, you guys. And this is my Hoya encroacita. It's supposed to be the seedling one. Now this thing continues to grow. I still have it on the same bamboo stalk that I had it when I unboxed it with you guys a few months back. This thing actually, right now that I'm feeling the leaves, it needs water. The leaves are traditionally thick, kind of like the Trubiana. Not as thick as the Trubiana, but thick nonetheless. And it feels a little thin, so I know that it's time for a drink, and the soil is extremely dry. So I'm going to give this plant a drink probably at the end of this video. But this thing has been growing non-stop, the tendrils at least. So I'm excited, like you have this growth these growth points, and like I said, this thing is grown beyond the stick. So I am probably going to try to make a trellis for this and try to loop it around too, just to see. But yeah, look, it has this one too that's sticking out along with this. So very beautiful plant. Like I said, I'm into the foliage, you guys. What about you? You know, sometimes it's not about the flowers all the time. The flowers is just like the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, so to speak, for me. But I am really a sucker for the leaves. That thing is beautiful, you guys. Love it, love it, love it. Now I have one more plant to share with you guys. As far as my haul, just want to make sure. Yep. And it's my Philodendron. My Florida green, you guys. Now, when I first showed this plant to you, it had 3 leaves, and it was actually, I think, 1 leaf was unfurling, or it had just recently unfurled, and it was still soft. It didn't harden off yet. So since I've had this plant, it has produced 2 more leaves. This one was the latest one, which it is trying to get a little bit bigger, because when it did unfurl, it was smaller, but it has gotten bigger in size. And this was the other one that unfurled, that finally hardened off. But isn't that a beautiful leaf, you guys? And it has this one right here that's trying to shoot out another growth. I have it right now staked up on this bamboo stake, but I'm going to put it on a moss pole. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. It depends on how it grows. If it's going to be wild and uncontrollable, I may just have to do that. But I don't want to do anything that's going to damage the root system. What do y'all think about this pot? I think this pot is kind of cute. I love these pots. Rite Aid. Okay, side note, you guys, Rite Aid. I don't know if you have how far Rite Aid goes, if you have Rite Aid in community, the pots. And they usually have sales. I wait for them to go on sale, usually 50-60% off. And then I use my wellness card too to get extra % off. And I wind up spending, this was I think initially $8. I wound up spending like $2 and some change or something like that. But I just thought it paired well with these leaves. I don't know. What do y'all think? I don't know. I just go with whatever makes me happy, put a smile on my face, whatever gives me positive vibes. If I get a great positive feel from it, I pretty much go along with it. I don't know. But this is the last plant, you guys, from the update of the plant haul number 5. Like I said before, you guys, check it out if you haven't seen that video, so you can do a comparison on your own as far as actually seeing the growth that took place in some of these plants in the past 2 months. And also let me know if you guys have any of these plants that I showed you, and if you want to share any care tips that you have, how they're thriving in your home. Like I said, this channel isn't about just only my plant journey, but it's about everybody else's, and I would love to hear from you guys. But keep in mind, you guys, if you love foliage as much as I do, and you love listening to planty things, definitely hit that subscribe button, give me a big thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever suits you best. I appreciate all support and any support you guys can give me. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. And until next time, guys, much love. Bye.